Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your August forecast. My name is Nicholas Ashbaugh. It is so good to see everybody. A reminder before we get into this reading, you can always use this for sun, rising, and moon. It's going to help you navigate the next 6 weeks or so, and I just want to say thanks. Before we get into the channel messages, I also want to just express appreciation for your patience. I'm in the process of moving. I'll be moved fully in on the 5th of August, and so there'll be a little bit of interruption over the next week or so, but thank you for your kindness during that period. All right, let's get into those channeled messages. I got a lot of things coming through in dreams today for your sign. The first thing was an image of a fly on the wall, and this was actually in my dreams, but I was kind of seeing things through the POV of that fly. And we can, of course, take this for the symbol that it is, which is people wanting to see things behind the scenes. So I'm getting a sense of curiosity from others about you. And if you're starting to launch something, build something, broadcast something, this is an invitation perhaps to do some behind the scenes sort of like footage. If you're going through a really pivotal moment in your life, this is also a chance for you to sit down and document it, put it into a journal. There may be a point later where you could come back and look at this and learn from it. It might be something that you can share in the future. There's something about the behind the scenes imagery or footage that Spirit really wanted me to convey to you. This is also important when it comes to letting people understand how you arrived at a decision. So when I say being transparent here, it's just letting people understand, well, I did some research here, I have some experience here, I put all of this together, this helped me formulate the vision, and then it can help them get behind you. So it can be anything in your life. Again, just arriving at a decision, working on a project, communicating some sort of a change. When you walk people through it, they're more comfortable. And it just felt like they wanted to understand. It's kind of like a GPS. Where are we and how did we get here exactly? And the more confident you are in the how you got there and the why you're there, the more successful you're going to be in the long run. Now, the last three are the most important, these last three bullets here. Be aware that there may be a larger audience. That little buzzing fly is kind of like, it's like someone that's listening that's kind of in the background. It could be someone that's already a part of the team that may have the Three of Cups energy and gossip a little bit. So I think it's important to make sure that whatever is communicated isn't of a sensitive nature if you're in a company that you don't trust. And, maybe some things are better left unsaid, especially when it comes to anything that is non-disclosure, something for business, something that is sensitive because you don't want to share information that, this is particularly like client information, things of that nature. Just really know your audience and err on the side of saying less until you are absolutely sure that you trust that person. Don't gossip. That is the takeaway here as well, because it can and will get back to the person that you're gossiping about. Okay. On the bright side, I get the feeling that the buzzing energy is like movement and the ability for word to travel quickly. So I was vacillating between Three of Cups and maybe the Knight of Swords, because to me that shows that immediate energy. But I highlighted the Three of Cups because the fly was a little bit more on the gossipy side or the surveying side to me. And I'm like, let's just make sure that people are aware of audience and words and act accordingly. Okay, so there we go. Hands-on approach. So I was also looking in dreams at someone that was really happy to receive something that was handmade. Kind of like if you have a kid that's in school and they make something like a drawing. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Sometimes it's even more endearing when it's not perfect and it just is like mommy or daddy, I love you, or something like that. It just warms your heart. The same is true sometimes for when you just put in a little bit extra, maybe making someone's favorite meal or going the distance and getting them something that they mentioned like 3 months ago, and you're just showing that you care, and it's not about, this is the important thing. It's not so much about how much you spend or how flashy something is, it's that you cared. And sometimes handmade or hand delivered is better. And that's why I was seeing things like, these little drawings or, maybe something that was cooked or something that was passed on, maybe from like a family heirloom or something like that. There is a sentimental value that I was picking up on this. Anyway, the ability to provide something with heart to someone else, that's really important. So if it's a birthday celebration, anniversary, or something of that nature, it is definitely the heart connection that matters most. Now, in business, there's a different thing that I was picking up on, and it was kind of like rolling up your sleeves and just working with others and really kind of showing that not only do you have the ability to lead, but also to do the work and to help people out. And good leaders also are there with you, right? Every step of the way. Some of you may also be of a kind of creative background. So if you're an artist or if you're a creative like designer, or maybe even someone that's developing something, whether it's programming or possibly even like for those of you that might be in engineering, I get this feeling of, rolling up your sleeves and creating something that you really, really care about. That hands-on approach and that sort of personality that you're infusing into this is what's going to help it really resonate with the public later. So productive month, creative month, Queen of Cups being featured because she's tapping into her heart, she's listening to her heart, and she's putting her heart into everything. People feel that energy. That's why if someone cooks with love, it almost feels like the meal is even better too, right? You never want to get food from an angry chef. All right, the last thing was I felt the roller coaster of emotions. I felt some high emotions, some low emotions, and stuff in between. The connecting thread between them all was change. I can't remember how many I saw. I think it was between 5 to 7 change points. And so that doesn't mean that it all has to happen right now. I think I chose the 5 here because it was about 5. But what it's telling me, even in the 5 of Cups here, there could be 3 things that went, oh my God, I don't know why that happened or that happened, but the 2 cups that are upright are sometimes the best. It is just a recalibrating moment. Certain things were not meant to go in a certain direction so that you would be in the right place at the right time to meet a synchronicity. And 5 of Cups has that 2 of Cups energy, which is partnership, love, or celebration. So try to keep on that roller coaster and know that there are highs and lows, but it feels like overall the highs are really worth it. And, try to do your best to process emotions. This does involve grieving and resetting. So I never want to, push that to the side. Each and every one of us, it takes a little bit more time to get used to something, a change, a loss, etc. But lo and behold, it looks like this month there's a lot of good stuff as well. Let's go ahead and give the cards a shuffle and see what additional messages are coming through, again, for the month of August. All right, close your eyes if you will. Let's call in angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters, calling in the highest guidance and allowing for whatever needs to come through. Okay, let's begin. All right, let's get started. We're going to begin with your catalyst energy, the trader. The catalyst helps you spark change and movement in your life. And we see the key to success this month is in what you create here. It says, exchange energy to create abundance. And we have someone here that is basically an artisan. And this connects really nicely to what I was talking about here, rolling up your sleeves and doing something by hand or, again, putting your heart into it. And isn't it telling that that's where his hand is placed? So communicating with compassion, explaining transparently like how you got where you got, because that's another piece of this. and then really putting your all into it. So if we go back one more here, that fly on the wall piece, it also connects with this. So if you're going to launch something new, let people know just how much time and effort and energy went into it. Whenever you see like a new phone, a new computer, a new car, big ticket items like that come out, there's always a marketing piece with it, showing all of the engineering and all of the bells and whistles. And that's what gets people excited. And that's what gets them to basically purchase. And so don't forget to do some of that. You know that it's good because you care about it, and I can see that. But other people need to know why they should care. So this is just good in persuasive arguments too, and any sort of persuasive conversation. You may think it's obvious to the other party, but get excited, be passionate, and show it, demonstrate it, not just through words, but pictures, nonverbals, real life examples, make it clear, and that's going to help. Anyway, I think that things are moving in the right direction, and if you are a small business owner, an entrepreneur, if you want to begin something new this month, and if you're just looking to create, all of that energy is here right off the bat, and that's exciting. Let's take a quick scan of all the cards, and then we'll go step by step through the month. Overarching energy. Let's take a look here. I always like to kind of look at the diagonal here. Definitely some partnership energy coming through. We see the birthing process here, again, creating, releasing something. A lot of communication. And I do think you're finding better balance with your money this month and your time. We go from the 2 to the 6 of Pentacles, and they're both balancing cards, and you're getting better at that, which is good. You may also be able to like speak something into existence here. So I'm excited, especially star card at the top. There's so much to talk about. Let's just do it card by card. We're going to start off with your center card, the Page of Wands. The universe is essentially asking you here, what are you looking for? What's on your mind? What are you trying to accomplish? The clearer you are in your vision, the clearer, the faster, the easier it is for the universe to present it to you. Your biggest challenge at the beginning of the month is landing on a decision or clarifying your vision. The other thing here is, because this was reversed, sometimes we think there's only one track, one dotted line to the finish line, but truly there's many, many ways that you can go, and sometimes there's a winding path. So be open to explore and to experience new things. Listen to other people's inputs, or input, I should say, and also just basically take a risk here and there. If it's too kind of like too steady, too secure, too rigid, you may be not experiencing some of the blessings and opportunities that the universe is trying to kind of put in your path. So it's kind of like having the blinders on. If we don't see what's going on here and here, you could be missing out on something. Slow down, have some fun too. That's the other thing. I just get that this is super focused, but maybe focused to a fault, and we don't want that. Crossing this card is the Empress. She's nicely connected to what we were talking about here in your catalyst. So this is a good month to birth, to launch, to deliver, to convey something. And we can see kind of like almost X-ray vision that there's something that's ready to be birthed, figuratively or literally. So some of you might be new parents, but for everybody else, it could just be a chance to say, now is the time. Now is the time to sell the house, or now is the time to take that job, or to get serious in the relationship, or to publish your book. Whatever it is you're sitting on, we're getting some clarity that the movement, the significant movement, needs to happen in this moment, okay? This is also, if we take the birthing component out, this is just a card of power. And for some of you, this might be the first time in a while that you're speaking up a little bit, taking more initiative, and just owning something. So it's definitely the right time for that. And then creative control. So that little baby could be a creative project you're working on, creative vision, owning the vision and saying, this is what I want. This is how I want to see it happen, and not being afraid to express yourself. Now let's take a look here at the deep past here. We have the Two of Cups, which represents karmic relationships coming through. And for many of you, this could be a sibling, a parent. It could also be your partner. But what I'm seeing here with these intertwined tulips is boundaries. This is the key thing that's coming through across all of your relationships. Loved ones, coworkers, friends. You're going to be perhaps tested in the area of boundaries. So it's okay to say no. It's okay also to not feel like you have to pick up every single piece of every single problem in people's lives. This is particularly true for like coworkers and neighbors and just people around you that aren't part of the immediate family. Sometimes it's good to just let people figure out what they can do, what they can't do, and let them come to you if they have a question. And ultimately, you've been doing a good job because this is a magnet. So here's the flip side, which is all positive. This is coming through because you've already been through the ACE, self-worth, love, happiness, stability. Many of you have opened up to partnership, realizing that you can do more together in all aspects of your life. And partnership is going to play a central theme. This is in the area of the spread that represents like the trunk or the root. So everything is sitting on these partnerships this month. That's why I really want you to focus on putting the energy where you need to and not overextending yourself and not getting wrapped up in everyone else's stuff, okay? Because you've got enough things to focus on this month. Let everybody kind of like deal with their own things and practice their own grounding, and that's going to save you time, energy, and even just sort of like stress with respect to your health down the line. So absolutely speak up. It's important. In fact, as we look at the recent past, that's where the second sort of karmic energy and karmic lesson is coming through here in the Page of Pentacles in reverse. The Page of Pentacles is oftentimes indicative of an opportunity coming your way, abundance coming your way, a chance for you to connect with some person, place, or again, maybe resource. Now, when it's reversed, it's saying, I think I want something or I need something. And because we have the Empress coming through in the center, you're going to speak up. And that's the main thing, saying, hey, I'm really interested in this. How can we make it happen? Speak in the sort of communication vernacular of possibilities. Use words that inspire and are curious and help people see possibilities rather than anything that's self-deprecating or anything that infuses doubt. You can lead up to a request in this way. Say, I'm really excited about this sort of movement or energy here. I'd like to be a part of it. Tell me how we can make this happen. That is so much more powerful than, well, I kind of heard something was going on here, and I know don't have a lot of experience, but maybe you could, oh my gosh, there's so many things there. So just say it. Just say it clearly. That's why the King of Swords is in the near future. Rather than putting too much on it, just say, I saw this, I'm interested, let's talk. Keep it super simple and let the other people give you a vibe and let you know if they're interested or if they think you're a good match, because I actually think you're a great match. We have the Star card here in the crowning position. A couple more things here, though, before we go into the Star energy. The Page of Pentacles reversed. If there is something that's not good enough, if someone is under-delivering, if they're not showing up, if they said they were going to do something and they're not, the Page of Pentacles is also saying, I need some help. I need to count on you for this. Are you in or are you out? So you can speak up. So whatever you need, say it. Whatever's lacking, highlight it, and realize that you've got nothing to lose. If you ask, you could get it. If you don't, you'll never know, okay? It's worth speaking up. You may also simply be deciding to take some of your existing resources and like invest in yourself, like go to school or do something of that nature that's going to help you feel supported. And this card, especially since it's right by the Empress, is like, yes, do that. In the crowning position, we have the Star card reversed. What happens when this card comes through upside down is that there could be someone in your life that has made you second guess your vision, your voice, your dream, or maybe made you feel bad for success that you have earned. You worked hard to get to this moment. Don't let that happen. Also, never give up on your dream or your wishes. It's important. I mean, I really feel like that's what kind of keeps us going each and every day, to continue to create goals and dreams and visions for yourself. And who is anybody to judge those or to say that you can't do them? If we look at the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card, this is one of the most powerful cards in the major arcana. This plus the sun, because literally they're just light blasting out of the deck. And in this moment, that's what you want to do with, if there's a problem, shine a light on it. If there's someone that's negative, put love and light in that direction, and don't feed into the same sort of frequency. You don't want to meet them in the lower level. Stay high where you are, and they'll either meet that frequency or they'll move in another direction. But It's about being present, being bright, being authentic. All of this is going to bring you your success. Heightened spiritual energy as well this month, and it may be something that you didn't expect. There could be, creative visions coming through. There could be an intuitive download. Whatever it is, tune in, listen. This is going to bring you more abundance, more opportunity, and remember, like energy attracts like energy. So when you start to emanate the star, you'll pull in star-like energy as well. Really good card for business people. Great for those of you that are actors or creatives or artists. Just good across the board. When it comes to love, by the way, this is a really deep soul connection, and we'll talk more about that when we get into relationships. First things first, let's look at the near future here with the King of Swords. So what I really love about this card is I got an immediate download, which is, if you see it, say it. Convey your thoughts and visions in real time, particularly if you're in a group setting, and like in business, for instance, if somebody's trying to get some ideas. I want you to trust in your intuitive ability. Again, it's coming through in the crowning position here. So you're getting downloads, speak up. People are going to start to see the insight, the vision, the power that you have, and they're going to start to then recognize and connect with you a little bit more. So I feel like this month it's just about articulating your vision a little bit more. So if you see it, say it. This is also true if there's something that needs to be fixed. If you see a lack of something or an opportunity to do better, speak up, but always do so constructively. King and Queen of Swords can be a little bit abrupt, but what I do love about them is they are always efficient and to the point. So obviously put a little dash of empathy there, make sure that the timing is right. But I love this. This is also saying walk the walk and talk the talk. So you're leading in your actions, or leading through your actions and also through your words. That is basically integrity. People are going to see that if you are a person of your word, then they can trust you, okay? And don't be afraid to fight for something that matters. That King of Swords, he's got that sword and he's willing to use it when he needs to achieve justice, to bring visibility, to shine a light on something that needs to be corrected. Really strong leadership energy across the board this month. Whether you're in a position of power or not, you have the ability to make a splash, to make some changes, to make an impact, and that's important. And with this card in the upright position, in the near future, leading you to more balance with your money and your time and energy, this is how it happens. It has to happen through communicating, like I said, a lack, an opportunity, an idea. All of this opens up new doors for you, okay? All right, let's check into your card this month. As we're looking at the energy around your soul and your ego, we have Judgment coming through. Judgment is typically a very good card because it represents rising up from a challenge, the ability to bounce back, and also to seize a new opportunity and really, thrive. Oftentimes, it's after a challenging moment in your life. It's really interesting that they chose to zoom in on the angel, and it's almost like this situation has been skipped altogether. So one thing that I'm getting right off the bat for you is that if you're at a place where you are thinking to yourself, Nicholas, I don't want to do that because I don't want to go to square one. I don't want to start from scratch. It doesn't feel like it's scratch. This can represent like karmic cycles, but this time around, it feels like you're going to be able to kind of take off with leaps and bounds. My guides are showing me Superman. So you'll fly through this, or at least it seems like it's smooth sailing, okay? So that's one thing here. This is also about answering the call, and it's a question in your own mind of, are you ready? And I can't make you be ready. The universe can't make you be ready. But if you are, then as we saw with the star card, great things await. And the King of Swords as well. So the other thing that this can represent is not liking what someone has said or done. This is, I don't agree with your judgment or decision. But take it or like it or not, I should say, some things are not within your control. And especially when you're dealing with other adults, they get to choose what they want to choose in their own life. And this is back to the intertwined energy of the Two of Cups. Pick and choose your battles. And what's going to be lost if they make a mistake, or maybe they don't. I think it really just boils down to control, or just wishing that someone would listen more, and you've got better things to focus on. If someone doesn't want to tune in, take that for what it is and use your energy elsewhere. It's the universe saying you don't need to focus on that. Now, sometimes this can also be the aftermath of a decision that is disheartening. So, for instance, there could be layoffs, there could be a loss in your life, there could be something where it's like, oh, why did that happen? And for that, you remember I mentioned that there would be some ups and downs in the channel messages? This could be one of those moments where, I said it was a myriad of change. That was the exact wording, rather. I did feature a card that shows that it's okay to mourn, but we don't want to miss out on some of the positives as well. So it's about finding that balance and, definitely honoring your emotions, but realizing that this one thing may not be as big as it seems. And that's the last message I have with respect to that. In the environment, we have a Page of Swords. I love this Page of Swords. All right, so we have a dandelion seed pod there at the top, and I don't know how many of you did this when you were kids, but it's kind of like blowing out a candle. You make a wish, right, on the seed pod. What's cool is look at all the different seeds that can take root and take flight at once. There's a lot of things happening, and you could speak something into existence. So a Page of Swords is very direct when reversed. Yes, no, I want this, I don't want this. There's no feeling of needing to over-articulate or apologize, so don't. And realize, again, when you express a wish or a dream, look, she's got her magic wand and he's got his sort of dandelion wish, sort of thing going on there, the seed pod. This is a chance to speak it into existence. It could happen faster than you think. And all you have to do is believe and continue to communicate what it is you're trying to create, okay? Now let's look at what's going on. Actually, and by the way, this is someone around you that could also be presenting you with an opportunity. And there could also be someone around you that is saying yes or no to something. So just accept, that direct communication when it comes, and a dream could be coming around. This is a second chance for success. That's the other thing that judgment represents, is bouncing back. Let's see what the opportunity is this month. So this can be hopes, fears, and opportunities. We have the balancing act that is the Two of Pentacles. In the reverse state, it's basically the universe reminding you that less is more and you have to make a choice. It's going to free you up to do one thing better, rather than being pulled endlessly in two directions and fruitlessly perhaps. Really make a choice. And then once that happens, so you make a choice, and then in the outcome we have more coming through, Six of Pentacles. I'll pull the traditional card here in just a moment, but Six of Pentacles is the basis and the base card that I look for you being able to be successful. It represents you're not breaking even, you have more than enough. We always want to have a little bit extra. It also is one of the scales cards, so you found the balance that was lacking in the Two of Pentacles. I think the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card tells the story just a little bit better here. We see a lot of outstretched hands, we see limited resources, and we see basically discernment here. But there is, like I said, more than enough. You should not just be at the break-even point. Wherever you're at, I feel like you're on the precipice of starting to build up a little bit of a store of resources or energy, bouncing back for sure. You can get most of what you want. There just has to be some realistic moments here when it comes to how quickly it's happening. I think that's the key takeaway here. And you can't say yes to every invitation. It's okay to sort of like really just be mindful of where you can make the biggest impact. This is a gossipy sort of Six of Pentacles. They're spilling the tea. So what I talked about earlier, I'd featured the Three of Cups. I think it's also coming through here in a different illustration, which is weighing your words. I would never quite kind of like interpret it this way, but it is coming through very similar to what I was talking about here, where I said, word travels fast, avoid gossip. So this person is weighing, can I trust this person or individual? Are they the right one? Because again, the scales are here. So you could be thinking about how much you value or trust someone, and slightly different interpretation, but always exciting to see how new illustrators look at something. So let's go ahead now and expand this a little bit deeper, looking at health, wealth, love, and destiny, beginning first and foremost with your health, your mind, your body, your spirit. Let's see what spirit has to say about that. All right, so in health, we have a really clear indicator coming through in the form of the Father. This could represent something on the patriarchal side of your family, so your father or grandfather, that you want to avoid. And it's interesting here because we see that there's the ability for history not to repeat itself. You look at a habit that maybe your dad had and you think, I don't want to do that. Whether it was smoking or drinking or not exercising or whatever it was, you get to choose a different path. It's not set in stone. That's actually what this represents, a chance to change family history. So that is super powerful, first and foremost. We also see parental energy, a father, a mother, and then at the center of this card, the baby. So for some of you, you could be a first-time parent. This is pretty black and white, just like this card. There could also be a little bit of increased focus on your parents. So if you have an elderly parent and you're putting a little bit more time and energy into helping them make decisions with their health or their finances, because I actually see a coin in this card, this could be a moment where you're stepping in, stepping up, and giving some assistance there as well. So lots to unpack with that, but I really love the first piece, which was your choices help you forge a new future, and you don't have to repeat certain familial cycles. And because we have both Empress and Emperor, aka Father energy coming through, it might be both sides of your family, but the most presenting energy came with the father. I know there's some non-traditional families out there, so if you have two moms or two dads, the father energy would just be the one that's kind of a little bit more vocal or a little bit more in the lead. So that might help you identify it, because I always like to be as inclusive as possible. Okay. Let's take a look at general health messages here and really kind of see what is coming forth in the cards. I love that we have two cards of balance, one that is lacking it and one that has found it. And so the Two of Pentacles, like I said, is just a reminder this month not to overextend. She's reaching really high. You know, those two balloons, one of them is not going to hold her up there, so she's got to really make a choice. The traditional one just shows a person that's kind of losing their balance between the two coins. So make a choice, say no, and then focus on putting your energy where it counts most. And you're going to see it's almost like a threefold increase here, because 2 times 3 is 6. So you'll be glad that you set that boundary into place. And that is, it's not about the body, it's about your time and energy, but that affects your health. Other things that I'm seeing here, Page of Pentacles in reverse can be about what you're putting into your body. And typically, we could look at this as like protein. It could also be earth, like vegetables from the earth. So potatoes, carrots, anything that's grown in the ground. This can also help you find some of that grounding. If you're feeling like there's a lot going on, when you eat vegetables from the earth itself, sometimes that gives you that sense of being present, being grounded. But this can also be looking at vitamin intake and protein intake as well, just making sure that everything is where it needs to be, because there is room for improvement. Something's out of balance, and now is the time to find it. Cognitively, I actually just feel like there's some concentration, a little bit of pressure in my, not so much in my third eye, but actually around the temples as I tune in. So to me, that could just mean maybe there's too much coffee, drinking too much coffee, or not getting enough sleep, not drinking enough water, something around that that's then kind of giving the indication of a headache, but I don't actually feel like it's from the head. Standard disclaimers apply. If any of that's going on, work with your doctor. But something around hydration, even with the 6 of Cups, is coming through, making sure that you're getting enough and that you're not drinking too many things that dehydrate you or take that away. And if there was any sort of close brush with a health challenge, it feels like you can rebound if you listen to that wake-up call. Definitely that could be a wake-up call to change. Okay? And that's everything for health. Let's move on to wealth. This is your resources, your life purpose, and your career. This is really synchronistic here. We have Persephone, goddess of cycles. So she is the daughter of Demeter. Whenever she is in the underworld with Hades, her mother mourns. Whenever she comes back to the surface, her mother celebrates. This creates the seasons. So when she's above ground, it's spring and summer. When she's in Hades, it's fall or winter. All of this to say, you have a chance to move from a place where you might feel like things are lacking or going in the wrong direction, winter or fall, and instead go into abundance and growth. We want to get you into the cycle of growth. And one of the things to really focus on, part of the myth actually, was she was taken against her will. So if you don't want to do something, we're not in a mythology here. You can say no to something. And that is one of the tenets of these two cards here. Like specifically, Spirit wants you to let go or walk away or say no to something here. And then that's going to give you the ability to make better decisions and have more energy and vitality as you move forward in the future. So just one high-level note for everybody. And now we're going to break it down into 3 specific areas. We'll look at those that are working, those that are seeking employment, and then we'll look at students and retirees. Let's start off with those who are already in a 9-to-5 job and see what's going on. As I mentioned, we have this card in the top here showing your ability to shine. Where you're really shining is your skills. There might be something that you've kept kind of hidden. Now is the time to bubble that up. Your communication skills, off the charts, because we have the King of Swords here in the near future. I think some of you just may be overworked. You're doing the work of 2 or 3 or 4 people. One of the things you can do this month is communicate what's realistic. Say, I know you want this, this, and this. This is all that can be done. Would you like me to delegate this? Or if they say, no, I need it all, say, you can want it all, but it's not all going to happen. Here's what I can do. Just hold firm to communicating what's realistic, and then they can't point a finger if they're not listening. So that's one thing that's coming through. The other thing for those that are working is there may be a major decision on the horizon here. There could be a change in direction at the company that you're working at. New leadership could be coming in because this is death and birth in the same sort of card. So it could be passed on. We talked about generational sort of stuff. So if there is a family-owned business, there could be one parent that's moving on and now it's going to one of the children. So you have to decide if you want to stay or go. And these 2 cards basically show that there's reasons for both. I think the main thing here is if you can get a little bit more time, energy, money, something needs to come through because it does feel like it's lacking a bit. And as we've been saying, speak up, speak clearly, and speak in terms that are positive and affirmative, or at the very least curious. No self-deprecating, no doubt. There's no time for that right now, okay? Otherwise, it feels good. If you're happy in the job that you're in, one of the things that I see working in your favor is you've forged really good core relationships. People admire your communication skills. They know that you're capable of more. I mean, it's kind of, there's a question from some of them, which is how much longer are you going to stay? Because it does feel like some of you are overqualified for a position. And that's something that you have to kind of weigh out. Sometimes it's nice to not have to worry about, just that you're good and you're not trying to prove yourself. And if you're good with that, good. But the main thing that I'm seeing here is a challenge in maybe having enough assistance, being paid adequately for your skills, and making sure that you're just not saying yes to everything. Shifting the focus now to those that are job seeking. So first of all, with the Page of Wands here, in this magnifying glass, it feels like there may have been something that slipped past your attention. Go back and look at your emails, check your texts, look online. Again, there may have been something on a job board that just popped up. The other thing, if you have a recruiter that you're working with or someone that is kind of helping you look, even just a friend or family member or something, circle back with them and remind them what it is that you're really keen on, because there could be something that was just posted or changed on one of those pages. So refresh and look around. It feels like a hidden opportunity under one of those sort of virtual rocks. The other thing that I see here is, don't be afraid to solicit an endorsement on a site like LinkedIn or something. Or if you know someone that works somewhere, lean into that relationship, because word of mouth is super powerful right now. Ask about money and research the money before you look at a position, because when I'm looking at the initial offer, it's not what it should be. It feels like you can definitely negotiate a little bit higher. So do your homework so you know what's reasonable, and don't be afraid to ask. This is definitely a situation where asking is better. Can you find something? Yes. King of Swords shows me that, for some of you, this can be like 10. Within the next 10 days, something could be breaking through. The main thing here is there is going to have to be a negotiation. You may not like something about the contract, the bottom line, the compensation, something needs to be dealt with. One of the things that's really, really important for job seekers is there a glass ceiling? Is there growth potential? Is this what you want to do? Because you're going to be doing it for a while. So make sure that this is what your dream, desire, or wish is, and you're not kind of vicariously fulfilling someone else's wish. Shifting this to students, it's pretty good across the board, actually. The judgment card here can show that for some of you, there is a sort of, there's a question like, what do I do after this? And so I think now is a time to really get clear. We were talking about being clear on your vision. The sooner you know what it is you're trying to do, first of all, if you're in school and it's still early on, first or second semester or first or second year, you can really craft a program that's going to work best for you. But if you've just graduated and you're trying to figure out like what that next step will be, if you know what the end game is, then you can start to put together internships, first jobs, and opportunities that get you down that path even faster. Generally speaking, the only thing to be mindful of are basically your budget. And I get it, when you're a student, you might have a lot of loans, but it could also just be your time and energy, because I do see a little bit of a tap in those areas, okay? Retirees, this is your moment. Do something artistic, creative. For some of you, you might actually be deciding this is like live theater or concerts or performances. You might be deciding to either partake in those or go and see them and support them, be a patron of like the arts. We also see writing here, writing and reading. So you could be joining a book club. You might be deciding to write something yourself, to record some of your thoughts, your memoirs, etc. And definitely some focus on investments and money. I'm not seeing travel in this spread, so it feels like a lot of the stuff that you can or will be doing, you're going to kind of be doing that locally, and then you're going to be working so that the Two of Pentacles is looking at travel opportunities in the future, but right now isn't the time. It feels like 1 or 2 months from now. And for some of you, it's a wake-up call. There could have been, like, again, a hiccup with your health, or you're just deciding, like, I want to do something radically different, and I don't care what people think. And I can definitely get behind that. All right, let's move into love and relationships. We have a beautiful card here. It says, sacred inner space. The sacral chakra is coming through with tenderness and sensuality. We don't spend a lot of time focusing on the lower chakras, especially the sacral one, but I was talking about the creative energy here. This is something where you can, with respect to like dance, art, poetry, anything where you're just kind of putting your creative self out there, that's a great way to connect with that. And in relationships, it's going to be important to communicate what you want. The spark is either there or it isn't. This is especially for those that are seeking love. So honor that feeling, and if you don't have chemistry, save yourself the time and energy. That's why we had the Two of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. Be discerning. Okay, let's take it a little deeper into 3 different categories: those in a relationship, seeking love, or happily single. If you're in a relationship, like I said, one thing that some of you might be doing for the first time is raising a child. You might have just recently birthed or adopted or had a child through surrogacy. No matter what we're looking at here, this is a significant shift, so give yourself time and space in that. For the rest of you, here's what I'm seeing. If you're not a first-time parent, I actually do like what I see in the deep past. It shows me that there was love. If anything, there might have been even some infatuation with how closely tied these flowers and these people are here. So one of the things that you're looking at right now is not just how to be together, but also how to have individual hobbies and interests, and knowing that sometimes some time apart is just as important as the time together, and balancing that. Not losing yourself in the relationship or losing yourself in the role of spouse or parent, because you're still also a person and you're also a lover for that person as well. So we want to make sure that we're not getting lost in the shuffle. That's what I see here. I like the star energy here in the crowning position. One or both of you may have some really significant growth opportunities. It is just about embracing it and not second guessing your dreams or your power or your path. The lines of communication are open. That's ideal. I think that the main challenge right now is, for some of you, you may not be listening. I see the talking, but I don't see the listening, and we need active listening. So if the partner's not listening, it's a matter of just kind of slowing down and being present. If you're not listening, same thing. The main challenge here, again, is just being overextended. And so making time for each other, even if it is just grabbing a coffee. This particular Six of Pentacles is saying, an hour or two whenever you can take it, and just talk about your day, be together. It's not just passion. Sometimes it's that intimacy of just, sharing your hopes and dreams with one another. Overall, it's pretty good. There's no tower, there's no devil. We just have some challenges in time and energy. Okay, so those are the messages for those in a relationship. If you're looking for love, you have almost too many options. And I mean that not in a sort of like critical way, just be more discerning. Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles, past life energy here with the Judgment card, King of Swords. Like that's 3 different personalities that might be coming through, and that's a lot. So I think one thing you could think to yourself is, first of all, just a question. Am I ready, and do I want this, or am I kind of like doing it because I'm being pushed to by friends, family, society, or my own unrealistic expectations? And if that's the case, just let it go. If you are ready for it, buckle your seatbelts, because these 2 cards are soulmates. The Star is someone you knew before and you have an immediate affinity for. Judgment is that past life, but Judgment reminds us that we are not that person before. So we want to avoid the karma, and the karma this month was a lack of boundaries. So focus on having boundaries. And I think the other thing that's coming through is listening. So make sure that you feel that they're listening to you, and that you're doing a good job listening to the other party, and that there are boundaries and it's not too pushy. It should just naturally progress to the next level. But yes, you can find love. I feel like there's several people in your orbit already, and it's just a matter of creating some time and some space and getting clear on what you're looking for. Okay, for those that are single and happy, it's ideal actually right now. Congrats. You can put a lot of energy into business or personal development. There could be some healing that needs to be done. Also, this is a chance for you to explore an entirely new opportunity, and because you're untethered, all you have to do is check in with yourself and make sure you're okay with it. The biggest challenge right now, again, is money and personal development, okay? And that's everything for relationships. Pretty good across the board. Let's go ahead now and look at Destiny. We've got 2 cards that came through in Destiny. The first one, a lot of matriarchal energy. So we have the Elder card coming through. This is probably grandparent energy. Move beyond ancestral patterns. Isn't that exactly what we were talking about with the previous card? I'll talk about the bee in a second, but we have Persephone connected to the father. So this is cycles with the paternal side of your family. And then I was mentioning, though, it could be both sides for that matter. So breaking cycles. And now we literally have one saying move beyond ancestral patterns. Ancestor is even beyond your immediate family, and this could be several generations back. So you're the first one doing something amazing. Maybe the first one going to school. Maybe the first one that broke an unhealthy eating, drinking, living, working, monetary habit or whatever. And you're feeling pretty good about that, okay? You're not defined by the mistakes or the accomplishments, for that matter, of your relatives. This is super synchronistic too. Summer. We have the bee card. Bask in the joy and the light. The bee is reversed. We have the cycle card with Persephone reversed. We're trying to get into this summer-like energy. Persephone feels best when she's in that energy of her family. So for some of you, you might be seeking a familial sort of place, a place where you feel like you're home. But we do see a good summer ahead for you. So whether you're in the southern hemisphere and that's coming, or you're in the northern hemisphere and we're nearly through it, summer is looking to be a good time. The bee, though, with the bee reversed here, it's about resting. People may be surprised to know that bees sleep or are inactive for part of the evening. So are you getting enough sleep? It's giving me Four of Swords vibes. Make sure that you're giving yourself enough rest, okay? Let's go ahead now and move on to Sun, Rising, and Moon sign and see what messages are coming forth. Sun, Rising, and Moon. For the Sun sign, we have the Eight of Swords. And I love this illustration because someone is starting to find their wings. We see a previous sort of block starting to open up and lift itself. And I always refer to this as prisoner of thought. So sometimes we block ourselves by saying, I can't do it. It won't happen. My family doesn't have good luck with this. Well, guess what? This month, we're letting go of cyclical energy. We're saying it's a news cycle. It's a new day. If you're ready and you're willing to open up to that. So that's basically what we see here, is that what was no longer is if you're willing to release it. But it's really focusing on I can, I will, I am. No, I'll try. like Yoda says, do or do not, there is no try. I'm a little bit more gentle in working your way through it. I will, I am. Get yourself in that energy and it's going to be good. Talk to different people. If you're feeling blocked, this can also just be a mental block or a creative block, then this is a really good time. Like I said, personal development was coming through. So you could decide to take a class, talk to a mentor, or just kind of like see what else is out there and get inspired. There's probably someone that's been through a similar challenge that can lend some advice or some insight. In Rising and Ascendant, we have the Nine of Wands. It's a card that is hardworking and oftentimes has been through something difficult but won't give up. We see someone here who might be nursing some emotional wounds, making it difficult for themselves to basically be themselves or put themselves out there. And this card is saying it's worth doing it. It's worth the rose. There are thorns, but it's worth the blossom. In the traditional illustration, we can see just a little bit easier what's going on here. So hard work and perseverance are paying off. For some of you, you could be dealing with mental stress right now or emotional stress, but it's coming through here. So like I felt some pressure on my temples, but again, it could be stress headache, difficulty in concentrating, or difficulty in going to sleep at night because things are bouncing around in your head. You're closer than you think to a solution or to completion. Don't give up, but please don't be afraid either to lean on the support of others. And eventually you're going to be reaping the rewards and you'll be in that blossoming energy that we see right there. All right, let's move on to moon sign messages. We have the lovely Six of Cups. This represents love, camaraderie, new relationships. It's the inner child that wants to come out and play. And when it comes to love itself, this is deeply karmic in nature. And if you want to call it a soulmate, that's what this would be. It's someone who immediately you have history with from the past, but also like this playful, irreverent sort of energy as well. So this could be a very good month for partnering up, for being in new relationships. If you need to put yourself out there for marketing purposes as well, like in a business, this is also ideal for that. All right, let's move on to one final question. This can be anything that I haven't yet answered, and let's see what Spirit has to say to that question that you have right now. Well, it's pretty darn good here. We have the Wheel of Fortune. If you asked a simple yes or no question, this is an affirmative, a yes. Generally speaking, this is also connecting you once more to your heart chakra, with that top gear being the heart. We see that time is not as important as whether you feel it or not. We see everything starting to work. There's a lot of gears beneath the surface. So work is happening. Progress is taking place. The last place that you're going to see it is right in front of you. So keep working hard and don't give up. Keep moving forward. One wheel, one moment, one day at a time. It's usually at the 11th hour, just about the point where you think, this isn't going to happen. That's when the phone rings. That's when someone knocks at the door. That's when the magic happens. So don't give up, okay? The Nine of Wands was telling you that. The Wheel of Fortune is as well. And the only thing that I'm getting from this is that some of you need to understand where you fit in the process here. You don't want to just be a cog in the machinery. You want to be the one that's cranking that sort of Wheel of Fortune. So if you're ready, this is also the month to step into the energy of empowerment, and in that case, also stepping into the spotlight itself. That was a magical reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do me a favor, like and subscribe. It's free and it helps the channel grow. It also lets me know that you enjoyed this. Feel free to join me on social media as well. It's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, on all major platforms. A reminder that I don't offer private readings, nor do I ask for money in the comments or in DMs. So if anybody's doing that, just block and report. If you ever need a link to my official social media, it's on my main YouTube channel page. It's also on my website, nicholasashbaugh.com. And that's everything, folks. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being a part of this reading, for allowing me to channel all of the messages here, and for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. Wishing you love, support, and happiness. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.